10 minutes past the hour here on WDNB, your news provider for the greater Phoenix and Tempe area. And I'll tell you what, with all the talk about the presidential elections and the culmination of the Olympic trials, we can't forget to mention the heat wave on the East Coast this past weekend that sent thermometers soaring. But speaking of red hot, did you hear about the big new supplier onboarding deal that Dun & Bradstreet closed with global construction leader Bechtel recently? Well, if you didn't, today we're fortunate to have Dun & Bradstreet sales executive Scott Niffenegger join me to talk about some of those details of this big deal. Scott, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Tom, thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, Scott, listen, I heard about this 3-year deal that you closed in May of this year, and I understand it could be worth in excess of $2 million over the life of the contract. Now, all sales execs out there want to know how to be successful. So what they really want to know is, how did you initially identify this opportunity and get out in front of the customer to position D&B?
Initially, we discovered the fact that the customer was going to be migrating away from a proprietary ERP system into a Oracle environment. And we knew from experience that this particular organization had always had the higher achievement of going global with their integration initiatives and, if possible, leveraging our data. So it was a perfect opportunity for us to really work with them on getting the superior data as been identified by them and de facto identifier with the DUNS number and get it into a platform that can be accessed around the globe.
Scott, there's so many solutions out there for competitors that could partially solve the Bechtel supplier concerns. So ultimately, what did you recommend to best fit their need? And with Bechtel being a global company, how did you deflect the competitive threats from the likes of the other international suppliers that Bechtel's looked at in the past?
That's a good question. One of the ways that we were able to show the value of our solution is by the way of having it so easily accessed globally. We worked closely with our worldwide network partners, came up with a solution set that was cost-effective for the customer. It had the systematic advantages we've mentioned, but also gives them the ability to access a very consistent, proven, if you will, data source that can be easily integrated into their ERP and have everyone basically singing from the same hymn book. And that has a lot of advantages over our competitors globally, where they may just be putting together a patchwork of informational data points from a myriad of different sources, a lot of inconsistency. It's a win-win-win, really. It's an ability for them to get the data that they need on a consistent platform. And again, everyone is working from the same perspective.
Well, I'll tell you, you talk about a win-win situation. For a while in early May, it kind of looked like Bechtel might delay the whole solution until November 2017. When they told you they were going to delay this, what did you do to turn the momentum back in your favor to get this deal closed as a full solution in 2016?
Like a lot of situations when you've got a major ERP deployment, that takes time, and they begin to indicate that they may want to slow roll this and have a slower approach to deployment. And we did come up with an interim solution that would meet their needs. But all along that time that we were discussing an interim solution and a partial deployment, we were still bringing to their attention the value of bringing this into the fold and doing this sooner rather than later. And as we kept that message in front of them, it became evident to them that, yeah, I think it's probably the best for our organization to just go ahead and pull the trigger on this and let's just get started.
Well, you know the old sales adage, time kills deals, and so it's very fortuitous you got them turned around. But, as I mentioned in the opening of this segment, the deal was signed for 3 years and $1 million officially, but you expect it may drive $1 million or more of revenue during that same contract period for Dun & Bradstreet. Scott, what is it that you're so bullish on for the potential of this contract to double in value, and what other opportunities does this deal open up for you at Bechtel now that it's closed?
Bechtel's been a customer of Dun & Bradstreet for decades, but this is a new frontier that we're now entering into with the data integration through D&B Direct and the ability for their individual users globally to access this informational data, almost transactionally really, is the ability for us to now integrate other data sources for Dun & Bradstreet. And main point of opportunity there is going to be compliance.
And you got to love that, given the opportunity, the entree into the compliance deal. I know they're going to introduce you. It really all starts with a relationship, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Knowing that you've got a provider that can potentially be a trusted one-stop shop has huge advantages to an organization like this.
So, well, Scott, listen, from all of us here at WDNB, congratulations on the big Bechtel win.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.